What's going on YouTube? H-Dub here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and I am joined by my homie, the bro, YST. First time on the channel. YST, what's going on with you, bro?
How's it going, H-Dubs? Nice
It's
to catch
going.
up with you on your channel for the first ever time. I hope you're keeping well and all that good stuff.
Oh man, I've been great, bro. I've been great. Anything you're working on now you want to talk to the people about real quick before we get started?
We're doing the free-to-play series. That's kind of something that I've been dabbling into as of the last week. So it's been a lot of fun, like diving into that for once again after 3 years and kind of seeing from the free-to-play perspective of 2023 how everything is in the game with like having the Forge in here, the advanced quests, and all of this stuff that came out which wasn't there when we first started, right? So just kind of doing that new player experience at the moment. But yeah.
Nice, man. And you just hit 20K subs, right?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Congrats, bro. Congrats. Huge congrats on that, bro. So a pleasure to have you, man. Thank you for being on with us and just chilling with us for what we about to get into. But guys, we about to get into something spicy today. And when I tell you it's spicy, it's real spicy. Now, I've been testing this champion out all day. This is going to be very unexpected, but we're going to be talking about a rare void champion that is so slept on, and that is Miss Eviscerator. Now, Eviscerator is a part of the Dark Elves. She is a rare attack type champion, as I mentioned. Her kit is not even a long read, so I'll be really quick with it. Her A1 attacks one enemy 2 times, has an extra 15% chance of inflicting a critical hit, also has a 50% chance of placing a 2.5% poison debuff for 2 turns if the attack is critical. Her A2 is an AoE, which has a 50% chance of placing a 30% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns, and her passive attacks an enemy champion with a default skill whenever they are healed or receive a buff. Also, attacks one random enemy if multiple enemies are healed or receive a buff at the same time. She has a crit rate aura. She has very nice base attack at 1409. Her base HP is so-so, 95 base speed, almost no base defense, and 57 base crit damage. Crit rate 15 is standard. So great champion, slept on, and I want to really show you guys today why I was so excited to work with this champion. YST, can you just take a guess at why I want to work with it? Just guess.
Well, it just sounds like you're going to be abusing champions' passes, right? Such as like Siffies or whoever's out there and nuking them down. Like, guys, just a disclaimer here, all right? I had no clue. We was just doing a collab on my channel, and then he was like, yo, I've got some cool video coming up with like this void rare. I was like, who's that? He's like, Eviscerator. I was like, what? Like, that's the champion I feed the most. Like when she pops out of a shard, I'm like, yo, get out of my account, man. And now you're telling me that she's gonna be some crazy goddess queen for arena. So I'm excited to see this from like a personal standpoint. So
yeah, so her passive is pretty much going to counter the meta, and the only reason why I really took a deep dive into her kit is because I pulled a nice Ascension soul for her, and I was like, let me take a look at this champion before I sell this soul, because any champion that I get a high star for in the soul stones, I do take a look at them and strongly consider if I want to use them or if they'll be beneficial to other people's accounts. And my god, her passive literally counters the meta, guys. So any champion that heals, any champion that places a buff, right, any blessings that place a buff. We know in arena you're going to be seeing Ward of the Fallen on certain champions, right? You're going to be seeing Lightning Cage on pretty much every nuker and some of the support champions, but pretty much almost every nuker in high-end arena is going to have Lightning Cage on for the most part. Every time a Lightning Orb stacks, which will be every time that you put a buff up, she is going to counterattack. It's on a 1-turn cooldown as well. You got champions like Siffy, right, who has a passive that heals at the start of the turn. Let's just look at her passive really quickly. Siffy's passive is going to heal each ally at the start of their turn, right? Say you're going second, you're not going first. Siffy is going first, right? Anybody on that team catches a heal, Eviscerator is going to come down, and she's going to take a turn before they even go. If anybody is using divine speed gear, she's going to come in and take a turn at the start. So if the Siffies, if the Arbiters, if you're going against speed teams with her, as soon as they drop in with their divine speed, that shield pops on. She's going to immediately go and hit them 2 times with the A1, right? So this is an absolutely broken passive. If her multipliers were higher, more people would probably use her. Her multipliers aren't amazing, but they're great enough to get some things done. If you're in the early game and you're trying to counter UDKs, because we know UDK is a pest. So like when UDK first came in the game, a lot of people in the early game were having a lot of trouble with him. Why were they having trouble with him, bro? Because
It's that passive.
it's that passive, bro. He just won't die, bro.
He won't die, man.
He won't die, and he was broken for a little bit, right? They had to fix it because he actually wouldn't die, right? They had to.
Oh yeah, there was some weird bug where he just was like unkillable in the arena, right?
Exactly.
Especially I've seen it in the early arena. Some people were having a lot of issues with it, but this is actually really interesting. Like for me, you know, I loved like all these new strategies and quirky stuff. So do you think you would have came across this if you didn't pull that blessing, or was it like, oh, I pulled this blessing, let's have a quick look at this and dive into it?
I can't honestly say that I would have, man. I mean, I was looking for unique champions to try to get something unique out. And this kind of fell in my lap. It was kind of like just a blessing from above, man. I must say, because I wasn't looking for this champion. And like, you know, we're always pulling for cold hearts early. We're trying to get a cold heart, right? We're trying to get that cold heart so we can make some spider progress early. And think about how many accounts pull this champion and could potentially help them in arena against some of those, you know, better skilled, you know, people, you know, that have spent money or what have you, you know. So
yeah. So one question I'd ask is, so for somebody that doesn't have a blessing, right, or they don't have champions to protect someone like Eviscerator, is there a kind of composition you're kind of thinking for an early game account who pulls this champion that's like, wow, like this champion will pair really well with it as like a budget option to like more of the end game teams that we're about to see, I'm assuming?
Definitely. Well, I don't have like a Necrid on my account. I don't have a Surga. I don't have any of those, you know, champion. I don't have a Duchess. I don't have anybody that's like mitigating damage or anything like that, you know. So I pretty much went in with I have one team that uses a bolster set, so you can use bolster, you can use shield set, just something that maybe keep her alive for a turn. She is very frail. She doesn't have a lot of HP, so if you could get someone who can, you know, maybe in a guardian set or something like that to mitigate some of that damage, or even reflect some of that damage, like a Brogni, which is that's not free to play, even though he was a fusion. But you need to build your composition, bring in champions that have masteries that are going to mitigate the damage for her. So say you bring in some support champions, make sure they have selfless defender on, you know, make sure you're taking masteries that are going to keep her alive, because she is a rare champion. So if she does not, you know, if you're not going first, say you are going second, you do have to take that into account, that you're going to have to try to keep her alive. If you don't have Necro, you don't have Geoffrey, that guy, like you don't have these other champs that are mitigating all of the damage. You have to get really creative. And that's pretty much what I had to do. But I actually had to try to go first because I don't have all of those champions. But in go second, I am using a bolster set champion to keep her alive. Actually, I can stack 2 bolster sets because shields do stack. So try to keep her alive, get her to get some turns in.
Listen, you're getting me excited, H-dubs, all right? We need to see this.
Yeah. So really quickly, like I tested her. I'm not even going to talk long about the gear and the masteries. I just, you know, she's in Savage and Speed right now, 6.6k attack, 272 crit damage. I didn't really take a lot of time to optimize this. I haven't run it through the optimizer. I just tried to, you know, eyeball the best gear that I had really quickly, because I did test her in a build with less damage, and it just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. I've been farming the masteries, still haven't farmed the full masteries, but these are like standard Nuker masteries. Only reason I did go down the support tree was because, as you're going to see in some of the fights, she's going to cut in, right? As I mentioned, she's going to cut in and take a turn first. So I want to catch Evil Eye so that when she's hitting these champions before they take their turn, she's decreasing the turn meter, and we even might now have a chance to actually cut in. I want to test that to see how that worked out as well. So
yeah,
that's why I went down support that way. But let's just go jump right into arena. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention I do have her 6-star ascended with Phantom Touch. So there's that. She has on Phantom Touch. There's nothing else that really benefited her, but she's getting a lot from this Phantom Touch, not gonna lie. And you guys know what Phantom Touch is doing if you're using it in clan boss. But let's go in arena and let's just see some fights. Let's see if we can find someone with like a UDK or okay, this is a Siffy team here. This team is actually crazy, bro. This team is actually crazy. Cause they got the Valk Shield too.
And then the Valkyrie as well.
Warlord. Yeah, it's a crazy team, right? But look, all right, so boom. Speed team here with bombs. They got a Hefrek as well. We know Hefrek's going to kill her, but they got a UDK. And we really want to test her against UDK so you guys can see how it works against UDK, right? So we'll go with something like this, right? We won't get bombed because we'll have block debuffs. But if they're faster than us, which they probably aren't, boom, you see that? Ooh. She just took a turn straight because Stone Skin popped off. So she instantly took a turn. Now we just increase, right? Sleep. We stripped one Stone Skin, and now she's gonna nuke.
Oof.
All right, and now Gaius is just standing by himself, and now he's dead.
Damn.
So as you can see, like there's a lot of potential for this champion. She does awful against more 2 teams. I'm not gonna lie. I did test her against some more 2 teams. So not great.
Which teams do you think that she goes up great against? So UDK in particular is like the main one.
UDK, Siffies, Duchesses, champions that you know are gonna be constantly trying to heal or have heals built directly into their kit. Also Withers, Wither the crown counters Wither amazing because you know Wither's gonna place a continuous heal when she takes a turn where A1. So as soon as she does that, Eviscerator is taking a turn, right? She's taking a turn, she's smacking with the A1, she's doing some damage, she's laying it down. And she has like 1.9 multiplier on her A1, which is not bad. And she's hitting
a 2-time hitter, that's not too bad on Void Affinity.
Exactly, on a 2-time hitter. And she's Void Affinity on top of that, so we're not getting weak hits. Like this team has Siffy and Duchess, right? Let's just take a look, right? This guy's 14 mil PP. He might be faster than me, right? Which means it could be a bad fight for us. But
yeah,
boom, they have on Divine. What just happened? We one-shot the Duchess. We one-shot the Duchess. We one-shot the Duchess. Why? Because of Divine Speed on the Kaimar and the Siffy. So like there's a lot of potential with this champion in the current meta in arena. We're gonna go ahead and strip, right? I throw this on auto and we'll let Eviscerator just do her thing, right? Nuke, it's over, it's a wrap. So
that's insane, man. For a rare champion, that's pretty impressive to be able to one-shot a Duchess like that.
Yeah,
it's actually like, obviously guys, you're probably seeing like fully blessings and all of that stuff, but if you're going into the earlier stages of arena, you're not trying to compete in platinum or face these crazy high-end teams, there's a lot of potential for a champion like this, I think.
Definitely.
Right? She hits like, even if you take off all of those blessings and you strip it all the way down to a lower stage account, I still think you'll see a lot of value, and at the cost of no books, by the way. Of course, you want them for like the extra damage stats and the extra buff chances on like the A1, which obviously we want her as a nuker.
Yep.
But for the actual passive and the cost of rare books for somebody that's attainable when you're pulling void shards, right? She seems to always pop out for me anyway. I think it's actually a really cool option that you found here. Like, I've not really seen a rare that can one-shot Duchess in that way. So if somebody hasn't, how are you judging if someone's got the divine speed? You just kind of assuming, like with a Kaimo and stuff like that?
Well, if it's a speed team, chances are at the top end of arena, they're gonna have divine speed because most people in the end game are buying the speed packs rather than farming because of the efficiency of just buying the pack over buying the energy to farm. So more times than not, and Murder Inc. actually put out a video about this recently about how divine speed has been affected because of the blessings, because of like how temporal chains works and like how buffs are, you know, it's devaluing the set itself, right? So you could kind of assume that like at least one champion will at least have one divine set. They only need to have one divine set on. They don't need to have full divine. Also, divine speed drops from arena, so like a lot of people are using it. You get more divine speed than you get regular speed gear. So chances are if someone's using a speed team in arena, they're going to have at least one champion that has on one divine set. That's only 2 pieces. So it can come up very, very often.
Yeah.
It only needs to
100%.
be 2 pieces, bro. Only needs to be 2 pieces. Only needs to be 2. Crazy, right?
It's actually pretty. I didn't expect her to be able to one-shot a Duchess with no debuffs up, like no drop defense, no weaken, just
No,
outright
no,
two-time hitter, bang.
no increase attack. That was before the first start.
Yeah, so that's really impressive because even if somebody doesn't have the blessing and they're one-shot like that, if you got the increased attack on, she's gonna still do a lot of value. It's insane, man.
Yeah, man.
So attacks an enemy champion with the default skill whenever they are healed or receive a buff. So yeah, man, there's a lot of potential for that. 100%, you're right. Like especially with like shield sets and
Shield
divine life
sets,
and stuff like divine
Chris,
speed.
everything. Like Volgoffs, Wilder. All of these champions hit. Like this team would be the perfect team for her to go against. Why? We
I was
have
thinking of like a fun team. Can you imagine if you just got 4 of her and then all of them take a turn at the same time?
yeah,
Boom.
nah. And guess what? Guess what the best part about her is, bro? There's no condition in her passive that says if more than one champion on the team with
cannot be
this
used.
skill. So maybe I do level up 3 more and we test that. Who knows?
Who knows? That would be a fun little test, right? That would be a fun test. I think if they all proc off and they kind of clever with the AI, of course, don't just go out and racks up 4 without trying out 2 first.
Right,
Otherwise
right.
you'd be there like, oh no, I got 4 here. What am I supposed to do? But I think away from that, like there's potential, honestly, for a rare champion to be able to hit the numbers that we were seeing against these higher end teams is actually very impressive. So
Yeah.
this is a more competitive fight. So let's kind of see how this one's going to play out.
It's gonna be a much longer fight, right? So this team isn't trying to kill us, but they have a lot more sustain. This is a very tanky team. They're gonna be trying to stay alive, but like Duchess got the veil up. We're gonna be targeting Duchess for a while, which is great because we don't want to target the Volgoff at all. It'll keep healing the team, but she's gonna get a substantial amount of heals in now. If we could continue, okay, so we have enough accuracy to strip that Duchess down. As Kamar, you just saw, he stripped her down. If we can strip her one more time, get that increased defense off of her, we could take down the Duchess slowly, and then we'll be in the money to slowly wear down the rest of this team. Now, she's taking a lot of damage right now, which is not great because it's going to slow the progression of this comp. If we have to keep reviving her, it's just going to make the fight even longer. So that's where she falls short, is like she does not have a whole lot of sustain. But
Yeah, but
Still
obviously
a-
if you start to bring in like some of these protector champions, as you said, of like the Guardian sets or allied protectors, you can actually see a great value of this because you're not gonna get hit as hard with those allied protections up. So
she just
This is
one-shotted through the
impressive, man.
shield.
Guys, this can we just say, like, guys, you need to drop a sub to H-Dubs right now. Like this video, get him to like 10,000 subs today. Like this is actually very impressive. And for me, like anyway, I love this kind of fun, quirky stuff where you try and utilize champions in ways that nobody's thought of. Like I've never seen someone try and abuse Eviscerator's passive in this way. So props to you, man. This is really impressive for me anyway.
Thanks, man. So yeah, that we just took a few good fights, man. Maybe we'll find like one more good one, and then we can close out. Let's see.
So do you think that we could abuse this passive for players that's trying to like get through the Doom Tower and stuff like that? Maybe for champions that's healing or receiving buffs, being able to counter them throughout Doom Tower on a 1-turn cooldown.
100%.
If you got like a strong protector team, let's just say Snick Tracks or Ursagas or whatever it may be, I feel like you can really abuse this and get through the Doom Tower, especially on normal, like very easily, right? With
Oh
a champion
yeah.
like this.
Oh yeah. If you have the sustain, this can be your damage dealer. You just need to, on the levels, on the stages where there's a reviver, target that reviver first, get that reviver up out of there, and then work down the rest of the team. Only thing you have to be conscious of is the 1500 turn count, limit.
Turn count.
So
But these numbers that we're seeing, I don't think people are gonna worry about that.
well, to be fair, she's in some decent gear, so but there are options, there's
No, but
plenty
even,
of options.
For anybody that actually might just want to use it for PvE and abuse that passive, potentially a lifesteal set could be an option. Make her heal back up from the damage inflicted. Maybe if you bring in AoE Leech, right? Leech will be able to help you heal by 18% of the damage inflicted. And I think it'll be a pretty cool one because doing a 2-time hitter A1 with the default skill, pairing with suppression, AoE damage and drop defense, by the way. So if you don't have an AoE drop defense, a fun little champion. And even for secret rooms, I think she'll be really cool. Right?
Oh yeah,
Arena.
The rare attack secret room, she'll definitely help to
Amazing.
dominate that. Yeah, so you saw how
What's crit rate in arena battles by 16%? That's pretty nice aura as well, man. Honestly.
let me take it off auto for a second. This just saved us in this fight, right? So that's why I went down the accuracy tree. When
Oh, so did you manipulate the turn meter there? With the
I
A1?
did for
Ooh, and then you
Yumiko.
cut in now.
It
That's
cut
fine.
in and dropped Yumiko's turn meter down. Otherwise, she would have reset us. But now we're gonna go ahead.
Bam.
Now we're gonna go ahead and nuke, and then try to get the battle on our side a bit. Now, obviously,
Oh,
this guy
Candy.
he's about to smack again. But what we're gonna do is reset, Candy. I mean reset Kamar, revive her again.
Oh,
Now we're gonna sleep.
we
Perfect.
got this.
No, wake up. Reset.
Oh, no, no.
It reset everybody.
Ah.
It's fine.
The
It's
brute
fine.
reality, guys.
Yeah, the brute reality is,
Yeah.
sometimes, you go up against a
You win
better
some, you lose
opponent. Yeah, but it's a fun champion to use overall, man. I'm gonna definitely be using her on my account in various places. I've taken some nice fights with her today, and I've been enjoying it. And that's what I play this game for, is to have fun. So
Oh yeah, 100%. That's the main thing. And be able to come up with cool things like this and try out quirky kits is like always a plus, right? In your
yeah,
spare time. So
yeah. Definitely, man. But I appreciate you being on the channel with me, YSC. Thanks for joining me, bro. It's a pleasure to have you. Thanks for taking some time out your day, man.
no problem. Anytime, bro. You know we're always free for collabs. So looking forward to the next time and appreciate you let me come on your channel and showing this to me for the first time. So I really enjoyed this as well.
Of course, man. Any last words? Anything you got going on you want to mention before we hop off?
No, I'll just say keep crushing it, guys. If you're subscribed to HWZ, make sure you support the man. He is like one of the legends in the community. He puts in a lot of work for people behind the scenes, pumps out streams, and you actually want to become full-time at some point, right?
100%.
So I feel like if everybody can like really just go out their way, support him, subscribe, it's free to do. I'm sure he'd appreciate that a lot.
Definitely, guys. And I'm going to be putting a link to YST's channel in the link below, in the description below. Sorry if you don't know him, which I'm sure you do. Genzin. This man is crazy with the content. So if you don't know him, trust me, you're missing out. You're doing it wrong. Like, I'm telling you, you're doing it wrong. Hit that link. Go subscribe to him. He puts out amazing content. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Be good and be well.